Alright everyone, how's it going? My name is Freeman Fitness and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be answering all of the assumptions that you lot have about me. So I went onto my Instagram the other day and I created a questions poll on my story where I asked for your guys' assumptions and I got plenty of responses for that. So today I'm going to be making a video where I answer all of those assumptions. If you'd like to get involved in a video like this in the future, make sure that you do follow me over on Instagram. I'm going to put a picture of my home screen right there so that you know what you're looking for. And you can also go into the description down below and there'll be a link to my Instagram. You can click on that and follow me from there. So without further ado, just before we get into the assumptions, I'm just going to ask that you do two things for me real quick. The first one, make sure that you leave a like on this video. Every like I get is going to show you the YouTube algorithm that my video is one that people want to see. And for that reason, it's going to show it to more people on their home pages. So make sure that you leave a like. And also the second thing is make sure that if you're not already, you do click that subscribe button and you turn the notification bell on so you never miss an upload as well. We're chasing 250 subscribers right now. And I think we're currently on 247. So if we could just get those extra 3 subscribers from this video, that would be amazing. So we're going to start off, go straight into the video, and I'm going to start off with my first assumption. I'm going to be putting them right there on the screen, and you'll be able to read them, and obviously I'll read them out to you, and we'll have a little talk about them. So the first assumption, I've got them up on my computer so that I can read them, hence why I'll be looking kind of that way to read out the assumptions. So I record with my phone, so it means that I can't just sit here and go through my assumptions on my phone. So as I say, the first assumption comes in from my girlfriend, Amy Louise _TX. And her assumption is that you are really confident. Now, I'd understand why she would say this is a sort of assumption. It's because I feel like I kind of put on quite a confident front. However, I wouldn't say that I'm the most confident person in the world. I feel like I have a fair amount of confidence in myself and in what I do. However, I feel like I could be better. There are occasions where I feel like I'm almost the opposite, a little bit shy, a little bit nervous and that sort of thing. It often comes when I'm going to leave the house, I'll be honest with you. Say when I'm going to work, for example, or I'm going to go to the gym. I get a little bit nervous because it's sort of that fear of the unknown. And I don't know why I get like that, but I do. But in general, I feel like within myself, I am quite a confident person. So I'd say that assumption is sort of true, but I do have my stages where I can be a little bit shy and nervous as well. So we'll move on to the next assumption. As I say, got them loaded up on my computer. So the next one again comes in from Amy Louise _TX, and she says that you are a relaxed guy and don't worry about anything. Now, I would say that I'm a pretty relaxed person. Like, I don't take things to heart too much. I don't really think them through, like overthink or anything like that. But there are some things that I do sort of worry about. It normally comes when I'm going to be doing some sort of exam or anything like that where it really does sort of mean something. I do get a little bit worried, a little bit anxious. Like we all do. I'm not like the most chilled guy in the world who doesn't worry about anything, but I feel like there's a lot of things out there that people would worry about that you just really don't need to. And sometimes I feel like worrying about things is only going to make you less likely to achieve what you want to achieve. Say for example, you go for an interview. If you go in all worried and nervous and you're overthinking about things, the likelihood is you're not going to be as good of a person to interview as if you were just relaxed and just happy to be there. And I find that if you go into interviews like that and you do any sort of thing in life like that, whether it be, as I say, interviews, exams, or anything like that, if you just go in with a calm and relaxed head, you're most likely going to do better than if you spend your time worrying and getting nervous about it. So to answer the assumption, I would say you're sort of true again, that I am quite a relaxed person, but I do still worry about things on the occasion. But I always sort of tell myself that there isn't really anything to worry about. It's the same thing sort of tying in with the confidence thing. If you just have confidence in yourself, you shouldn't really need to worry about anything. So we're going to go on to the next assumption, and this isn't actually an assumption, but I thought I'd include it anyway because I've got a couple of questions in here as well. So I thought I'd just answer them. So this one comes in from Rye _fitness journey, and he says, how to reach 1k follower on IG. So I'll go through this one relatively quickly. Obviously, on my Instagram myself, I've got over 1,000 followers now, so I feel like I can sort of speak on this. But the one thing that I would say is just make sure that you're engaging with your following. Make sure that you're uploading regularly and using hashtags to find new people. And I feel like engaging with the people that you follow that follow you back as well, it just makes such a big difference. So for me personally, I normally go through my stories every day, and whenever I see that someone's uploaded a post, or whenever anyone's doing like a question poll or doing like a yes no kind of poll, I'll always try and participate in that. And I try and message as many people as I can as well, because I feel like having that sort of relationship where you're messaging someone on Instagram, it's going to make them pop up in your head a lot more, and it's going to really help with your engagement. Another thing that really helps is when you shout each other out. So sometimes I may shout out someone's post because I like the way that it looks or anything like that, and I do get that reciprocated to me sometimes as well, and that can really help with sort of sharing followers with other people. So say if someone shouts you out and they have followers that maybe like your content but just hadn't found you yet, that shout out's really going to help you out. So essentially that's how I made my way over to 1k followers. But there are different ways about it, but I feel like just engaging with people and trying to follow people as well that are in your niche is really important. So we'll go on to the next assumption, and it's from my guy Josh Gym Fitness. This one's quite a funny one. He said that his assumption is that you can't actually grow a beard, you just want me to look bad. Now, mate, I don't know if you can see that, but that's a proper beard, my friend. I can grow a beard, right? But you know, one thing I can't do is grow in height. I'm 5'10", and for those of you that don't know, Josh Gym Fitness is, I want to say 6'4". Correct me if I'm wrong, mate, but I'm pretty sure you're about 6'4". So I think I would rather be 6'4" and not have a beard than be 5'10" and do. I sometimes feel like I'm quite small in comparison to a lot of people, but it's not like I have any height insecurities or anything. But mate, if I could be 6'4", I'd ditch the beard any day. Alright, so the next assumption is coming in from my guy Don Wells PT. It's another funny one. He says, you love a cheeky bit of Love Island. And mate, I've got to say, you're absolutely right. I didn't really enjoy the Australian Love Island. I didn't think it had the same sort of vibe to it as you normally get with Love Island, but I think I've watched from the second series, and I think there's been 4 now, so I think I've watched the second, third and fourth series. I just love them all, mate. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people don't like it, because I've always thought that they're really good. I don't know whether it's just the whole reality TV aspect of it or something like that, but mate, I was watching every episode of Love Island when it came out. So the next assumption comes in from Morgan Hipwell _fit, and he says, I assume that you, sir, have extreme muscle mass and look like Ronnie Coleman all times. I mean, me and Ronnie, I'll put a picture of him right there. Yeah, buddy! I mean, we're pretty similar, right? This guy is basically like my twin. But to be real with you, I'm not on Ronnie Coleman's level, and I think that we all know that. I mean, I'd love to maybe one day, I don't know about Ronnie Coleman, but the one person that I've always taken inspiration from is The Rock. So if I could eventually look like The Rock, that would be amazing. But to be honest, I don't think I have the genetics to get to that level. I'm kind of happy with where I am now, but I know that I just want to pack on a little bit more size, and then I'll probably be reasonably happy with where I am. But no, that was quite a funny assumption, to be fair. And we're going to move on to the next one now. Okay, alright, so it's James Edwards is absolutely, he's mugging me off here. He said, I assumed you were 30, you have more facial hair than me. So for those of you that don't know, I'm 22. So this guy thinks I'm 8 years older than I actually am. It is kind of funny though, because sometimes I'll go to the shop and I'll buy alcohol and I won't get ID'd. And I know that you have to look over 25 to not get ID'd. So I'm like, come on now, I'm 22 and you're saying I look over 25. I mean, in one sense, I suppose it's a compliment, because to be honest with you, I don't even know why it is a compliment. I suppose it would be more of a compliment to get IDs, but I've had a few people before think that I'm older than I am. I remember I put up a questions poll on Instagram once, asking for people to guess my age, and a few people thought I was 26, and this is when I was 21 as well. So I think that I used to look younger than I was, but now that I've sort of grown out the beard and that, I think that I now look older. So I mean, it's a fair assumption, but to answer it, I'm not 30, I'm 22, alright? Let's slow down right there. Alright, so next assumption comes in from Aiden White Fit, and he says, you're jealous of my shoe size. Now, I'm not sure what your shoe size is exactly, but mine's a size 11. So if you've got like shoe size 8 or 9, then yeah, I'm probably going to be jealous. Because for those of you that have like oversized 11 feet like me, it's hard to find shoes that actually fit you. especially if you go to like a shoe shop. They normally have all like the 7s, 8s and 9s, but as soon as you start getting to like size 11 and 12, they just seem to run out of sizes. So I mean, let me know what your shoe size is in the comments, Aiden, and we'll see if I'm jealous of it or not. The next assumption comes in from Max.talks, and he's actually sent in 3 in total. So his first one is, your ultimate goal is to be as shredded as The Rock. Now, as I said in the previous one from Morgan, my one sort of real inspiration is The Rock. So essentially, I would say that you're right. I would love to look like The Rock. I mean, there's certain things I wouldn't be able to look like him on. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. But if we're thinking about muscle mass, to be honest, I would not mind looking like that. And I can't think of anyone in this world that wouldn't want to look like The Rock. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because he's an inspiration to me, but I just think he looks great, to be honest with you. So the next assumption, it comes in from Max.talks again, and I'm going to put this assumption and the next assumption in together because they kind of are similar. So in this one, he says, you want to be a programmer as a job eventually. And the next one says, you want to be YouTube famous. So it's kind of like 2 different job opportunities, 2 different paths that I could take. And to be honest with you, I couldn't really pick right now. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, I just finished a placement at Next. It went really well and I got offered a place on the graduate scheme, which is amazing. And I really appreciate the opportunity that I've been given. However, if my YouTube was to blow up and I had that option as well, it'd be really hard to decide which one to go for. Obviously, I've been doing a degree in computing for the last 3 years now, going into my 4th and final year. So it kind of would feel like a waste if I was to just say, you know what, I'll just do YouTube instead. But at the same time, it's all going to depend on what can get me more money and what's going to make me happier in the future. So it's an assumption that I can't really decide on just yet. But to be honest, I really enjoy YouTube. I think it's a great thing. And just to be able to sit here and put out content, I do feel like a really big sense of achievement when I do put something out. However, obviously being in like a company, an IT company, would be a very safe job because you never know what might happen with social media in the next 10 years. But I mean, if I do get the opportunity to do YouTube as like a career or get paid for it, I would definitely take that opportunity. So thanks for that all, Max. That was a pretty good talking point there from yourself. Now, the next one comes in from Swole Ladybug, and she says, you like pineapple on your pizza? Fun fact, I can't eat cheese. So for those of you that don't know, I'm lactose intolerant, so I try and stay away from the pizza as much as I can. However, if I did have a pizza, I can assure you that pineapple would be my least preferred choice. Probably down there with something like olives. I definitely would not have pineapple on pizza. I don't know where the craze has come from. I mean, let me know in the comments if any of you lot have pineapple on your pizza, but personally, I don't think it sounds like a good idea. So the next assumption comes in from Fit Competitive, and he says, you loved playing video games growing up. Now this is the truth, and I still love playing video games even now. I think most lads out there have always had that sort of gaming background. So for me, when I was about 11 or 12 or something like that, I started playing FIFA and Call of Duty. And literally ever since then, I've just been playing those games every year. They've always been my favourite games to play, and I'm very sort of zoned in on those 2. I don't really play much else. Like, I do play things like Rocket League, and I've dabbled in Minecraft a little bit. But to be honest, I'm not one of those gamers where they literally play like so many games, all these new ones that come out. I've normally just been on FIFA and COD. There was a series called Uncharted, I don't know if you lot remember that, but when that first came out on the PS3, I used to literally buy them and complete them in a week because I just loved them that much. So there's been the odd game out there that I've liked more than COD and FIFA, but just a sort of a general trend, I've always played those 2. And when I was really younger, about 9 or 10, I remember I got my first console, which was a DS, and I used to play Mario Kart on that. And ever since then, I've always loved the Mario games as well. But FIFA and Call of Duty have sort of taken over a little bit there. But yeah, that was a good assumption, so thank you for that one. The next assumption again comes in from Swole Ladybug. I think she didn't get in there quite in time. Fit Competitive beat her to the last one. But she's come back again, and she says, you love dogs more than cats. And this is absolutely correct. I like dogs and cats, but there's definitely something about a dog that just makes it better. I mean, you can't take your cat for a walk, can you?
Nope.
You can't, like, make your cat roll over and stuff like that.
Nope.
I just think dogs are better. Like, it doesn't mean, like, if I had a cat, I wouldn't mind, but I do prefer dogs over cats, yeah, so that assumption would be true. The next assumption comes in from Evan De Civ, and he says, you never had deep dish pizza, Chicago style. And you'd be correct, I don't think I have ever had that. I mean, we do something called deep pan over in the UK, but I don't think it's the same as deep dish. And I've never actually been to America before. It's definitely something I'd like to do in the future, go to America. I think if I went to somewhere like New York, Chicago, anywhere like that, any of the big cities, I think I would love it there, but I've just never had that opportunity to go there as of yet. It's probably something that I'm going to do in the future though. But yeah, you are correct in saying that I've never had a deep dish pizza, because I've never been to Chicago and I don't think we do them over here in the UK. Okay, so the next assumption, or should I say question, because Jim Carlos UK got it wrong in the first one. He says, what are your future plans / goals for your YouTube channel? Now, this is a good question, and I don't have any specific sort of videos or anything that I want to make as of yet. I'm just kind of taking it as it comes right now. But I know that the thing that I want to do most at the minute is reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time on my videos. So for those of you that don't know, if you reach these numbers, you can partner with YouTube, and that's essentially the whole monetization thing, but you can't get any sort of monetization or payment from YouTube until you reach those numbers. And it's another reason why I try and stress that I want people to watch the full video that I put out, is because if you get 100 viewers and they watch 1 minute each, you've got 100 minutes of watch time, which is about 1.5 hours just over. But if everyone was to watch a 10-minute video, those same 100 people, then I'd have 10 times the amount of watch hours. And that would be so much better for me in gaining those precious watch time hours, because there's like 2 needles when you go into the monetization thing, like a little car needle thing. So my subscribers is about 1/4 of the way there, whereas my hours are literally just a tiny bit up. So I definitely need to try and get more watch time hours. I'm trying my best to make the videos entertaining and something that people are going to watch for longer. But the biggest favour that anyone could do me on YouTube is to just sit there, or maybe if you're doing something, just have my video on in the background and just watch the whole thing, because that's really going to help me out in the future. So as I say, to answer the question, what are your future goals / plans? I want to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours. That is the goal for now. The next assumption comes in from Lubes_food, and it's probably the nicest one I've seen, so I really appreciate you for saying this. But he says basically that I'm a positive and all-round good guy. Now, obviously, I don't want to be tooting my own horn too much, but I think you're correct with that one. I do try my best to give people as much of my time as I can and just sort of be engaged in the conversations that we have. So I feel like my head is in the right place without trying to big myself up too much. And to put it simply, I really appreciate that from you, Lubes. Very nice assumption from you there. So the next one comes in from the absolute joker, that is Lopo_fit. And he says, I assume you would pick cocktail pictures over beers on a night out. Mate, yeah, you're absolutely right. I actually would. I used to go to Spoons when I was about 18, 19. I was going to say 17 then. But yeah, I used to order the 2 for £10 deal, or it might be 2 for 12 now, on the cocktail pitchers. I used to get Blue Lagoon normally, and then sometimes I'd get like Purple Rain or the Godfather as well. I'd just sit there with like my 2 pitchers and drink them before we went to the clubs. But to be honest with you, I'm not really much of a beer person. I have been having beers recently, but I find that if you have too many beers, you wake up with like a massive headache. But if you have like too many ciders, I feel like it doesn't really affect me the same way. So I'm not really the biggest fan of beer, and obviously it doesn't taste very nice, that's like a given, but I just prefer cider. And to be fair, cocktail pitchers are pretty banging if you go to a pub or something. So yeah, to basically answer your assumption, you are correct. The next assumption's coming in from my guy Patrick.Shees. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Patrick Shees? Let me know in the comments, mate, if I'm saying your name right there. But he said, you prefer a good Friday evening beer over a gym day. And I'd have to say that that's false. I really love going to the gym, and it's something that oftentimes I'll wake up for, and it'll be the thing that I'm looking forward to most of my day, is going to the gym. And don't get me wrong, having like a few beers, a few ciders, bit of rum and coke on a Friday night with my mates is great. Like, I really do enjoy it, but I feel like putting the two against each other, if I could only do one for the rest of my life, like going to the gym or drinking, then I'd probably pick to go to the gym. Just because, I mean, in terms of the way it makes you feel, Obviously, it's a no-brainer that gym is better. On the night when you are drinking with your friends, I feel like it feels like the best thing ever. But when you wake up in the morning and you kind of realise that it's not that great, really. But nevertheless, I still do enjoy having a drink with my friends, and to be fair, I do it probably more often than other people do. But I say that your assumption would have to be wrong now, my friend. I do prefer a good gym day. Okay, and we're on to our final assumption. Jim Carlos UK has come back with an actual assumption this time, so he smashed it this time round, and he says, you have a mindset to be a success at whatever you do and to help others achieve. And I'd have to say you're correct. It's kind of a deep one to end on, which I like, and I really do think I have the mindset to be successful at whatever I do. I've obviously done IT, been on a placement and managed to pass that, get a graduate scheme, and I'm going to continue with that. But as well with social media, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok and all of that, I really feel like I could be a success, and I feel like I really do try every day or at least every week to make that happen. And in terms of helping others achieve, I look at people like the Sidemen on YouTube and the way that KSI made this group and sort of brought them all up with him. And I know people like Josh Zerko used to have like a YouTube channel that had more subscribers than KSI, but essentially we all know that KSI basically made the Sidemen what they are today because he had like so much of a bigger following than they did at the time. And I just feel like if I could do something like that for my friends, I would really love it. Like, I just think that in the future, if I had the position where I have a lot of following on social media and I'm making money from it, if I could involve my friends in that as well, that would literally be the ideal scenario. Like, I would rather have 1 million subscribers and have all of my friends, maybe like a group of 6 or 7 of them, also have 1 million subscribers rather than having 10 million for myself. I think that like it does get to a certain point where it's just more money than you need. And if it did get to that point for me, I'd definitely want to share that out with my friends. So, as I say, I think your assumption is very correct there, and you've basically nailed it on the head of what my sort of mentality is with things. The way that I always want to be successful at what I do, and I also always want to help my friends out as well. So guys, that is it. We've come to the end of the assumptions, and I feel like this has been a really good video. I don't know how it's going to turn out on the edit, but it's kind of been one of those things where I did it one take. You wouldn't have seen me like stumble or do anything like that because I would have edited it out. There was a few times where I stumbled over my words and stuff, but I feel like I really sort of hit the flow with the talking today. So if you guys feel the same way and you think that I've made a good video today, make sure that you comment it down below. Give me any feedback on how you found it and let me know what you think of the assumptions that were sent in to me. When we get to 250 subscribers, I'm thinking about doing another Q&A. So make sure again that you go follow me on Instagram and the link will be in the description. And if you do think that that's something that you'd want to see, make sure that you like this video. So now that we're at the end, I'm gonna make sure that the people that are commenting actually watch until the end of the video. So comment down below assumptions. It's probably an obvious comment to put, but if you've watched all the way through, make sure you start your comment with assumptions and then say whatever it is that you'd like to say. So I thank you all very much for watching. I know that it's a long video, and for those that have gotten this far, I really do appreciate you a lot. So as I say, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.